What's up, you guys? We are back with another episode of Who Even Asked. I'm Tay.
I'm Jazz.
And we're just going to have a whole variety of topics for today. We don't really know what we're doing. This is going to be a little bit off the cuff today.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to just talk. You know what I mean? Just go with the flow. Talk.
Go
See
with
what
the
happens.
flow.
I kind of wanted to talk about pet peeves.
Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah. So what are some of your pet peeves?
Oh, man, you put me on the spot. I feel like I have a long list of grievances and I'm on the spot and I can't think of any of them. Okay. You know how, like, if you are going to turn from, like, a side street onto a main street, if the person that's turning left is in, like, a big, like, truck or car, and then you're in a little car trying to turn right and you can't even see because they're so far up, that really irritates the shit out of me. That's a pet peeve for me.
Yeah. I feel like I have a lot of driving pet peeves. Specifically in Lubbock. I don't know if I may have said this on the podcast before, or I get our conversations like off the podcast.
Yeah,
I'm, like kind of
confused.
But in Lubbock specifically, the speed limit is so slow.
Yeah,
and I'm just not used to it. That's my pet peeve. Is like, especially right where I live. I'm not gonna say like what street it is, but they're the slowest people that tend to turn down the street I need to get to my apartment, and it bothers the crap out of me. And I get the worst, like, I don't want to call it road rage because I'm not like going to beat anybody up, but like, I just get so furious and annoyed. I'm like, dude, go faster. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, that's super irritating. Like, our loop is only 65 and it should be 75. At least 70, something.
Yeah, something along the lines of that's like crazy.
Because I don't think anybody actually abides by the speed limit.
Yeah.
So no, I agree. That's super. Just driving in general is a pet peeve. If I could have a chauffeur all the time, that would be lovely.
Yeah. One of my pet peeves is chewing loudly.
Okay, I can see that.
And I don't know, there's a word for it. I don't know what it's called right now, but it like pisses me off to the point like where my little brother will do it. And I think when I was younger, I actually hit him one time because he would not, like, he just chewed so loud. He's like, and I'm like, bro, let's close our mouth and chew with our mouth closed. Like, it's like one of those things for me where like it bothers the crap out of me.
Just like makes your skin crawl type of thing.
It's like the fork on the metal thing. Like, that's exactly how it is to me. And I just cannot stand it.
No. I'm trying to think. What are some more things that really irritate me? I would say, like, people being fake really bothers the crap out of me. Like, I feel like in my industry, sometimes that happens a decent amount with people. But, like if you have an issue with someone and you voice it to me and then they walk in and you're like, oh my God, hey, can't stand that. Like, keep that energy. I can't. I'm getting mad thinking about it. I don't like people being fake. That bugs me.
Have you ever seen like Jimmy Fallon? Like, I cannot stand, and specifically lately because do you know like the Costco guys?
I don't think so. Oh yes, the
Rizzler,
yeah,
the little chunky little boy.
Yes.
So they were on Jimmy Fallon, and it's not just with them, but like with other people. Like the clips will pop up on my For You page because I do not watch Jimmy Fallon, and he's just so fake. Like, it bothers me like how fake he is because like he laughs at things and he's like like over exaggerated.
I agree.
And I'm like, that, like, you have to know that's fake. Like, that's not real. And as a guest, like if I was a guest, I'd be like, oh, this guy's just humoring me too much a little bit.
Yes.
And it's just ridiculously fake and it bothers the crap out of me.
It makes me think of that scene from Mean Girls and it's like, oh my God, I love your, what was it, her bracelet or whatever. And then she's like, that's the ugliest fucking thing I've ever seen.
The fuggliest bracelet.
Yes. No, that irritates me. Okay, this one, a little off topic from those. People who, when they brush their teeth, they leave, like, the toothpaste in, like, all over the sink. Like, dried toothpaste in the sink. It makes my skin crawl. Like, that really disgusts me. Yeah.
It's like if you don't, like, you do not see the big glop of toothpaste you just left there. Like, what is going on?
Yes. And, like, or if like you get toothpaste out of the tube or whatever and you leave like the dried up crusties all over it. Disgusting. I hate that.
Yeah.
Since we're on the topic of brushing your teeth, I can't stand that.
I love my little brother, and I brought him up a while ago.
Poor
but I'm bringing
Brennan.
him up again.
We're coming for you,
Dude,
Nick.
when he comes to stay with me, or like when he uses my toothpaste, it bothers me too. He doesn't, you go from the bottom to the top, toothpaste. He grabs it in the middle, and it's like, I feel like he Hulk hands it, and just freaking scrunches the middle of it. And I'm like, dude, that's not how you do toothpaste. God. Bottom to top, dude.
Yeah, just like little like OCD type things.
For sure.
So annoying.
Speaking of like fake people though, like I also hate like mean girls. Like, and I don't mean in the sense of like being just generally mean to somebody, but like mean girls who are fake mean girls. Like,
yeah.
They are in like a public setting and they specifically go out to try and act like a mean girl, but like in the fakest way. Like if you're gonna be a bitch, just be a bitch. Don't be a fake bitch. Like
stand 10 toes. Like own it. No, 1000%. I completely agree. And that brings me, that made me think, the term like be a girl's girl or whatever.
Oh, girl.
But I feel like 90% of the girls that are like, I'm a girl's girl are not for the girls. And like the bruh girls, like they get like shit on and stuff.
Yeah.
Those are the more real ones in my opinion. And those are more girls than the ones that are like, I'm a girl's girl. I don't know. That like irks me. Like that whole term just like irks me.
So speaking of that, we were out one time. I was out with two people that I go out with often, and we were in line waiting to get into this bar, and this girl in front is flirting with the guy, and his girlfriend's right behind him because it's us three, and she's like, "Hey, that's my boyfriend. What are you doing?" And the girl goes, "Oh, don't worry, I'm a girl's girl." It's like, bitch, what?
What?
What does that even mean? Like, I'm telling you not to flirt with my boyfriend, and you're saying you're a girl's girl. Like, is that supposed to make me feel better? Or like, that's like so funny to me.
No, that made me think of this one time me and Jacob were out at a bar, and this girl walks up to him and she starts unbuttoning his shirt right in front of me. And so I like get my hand and like shove her. I'm like, he's good. Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm married. And I'm like, well, I'm going to call your man and tell him you're acting like a little hoe. Because what the hell is that?
Dude, people are freaking crazy and wild. Like, especially when people are drunk. Mm-hmm. Like, drinking just, like, all inhibitions are out the wall for people sometimes. And that's just, the things you see when you're out drinking are just wild.
Yeah. Hey.
That's a cameo from Bruce. He had a little something to breathe about.
Our third co-host. Mm-hmm. He just wanted some airtime.
Some airtime.
Yeah, no, but I agree. People, especially when like alcohol's involved.
I don't think we talked about this, but when I went over to your house, we played that Monopoly game.
Yes. I'm a big Monopoly fan.
Okay. Let me just start by saying I hate Monopoly. It is the most boringest game in the world. I just cannot stand to play it. It takes too long. I feel like you have to play for like 10 years, and I just can't. I don't have the patience for it. Or the like interest enough to do it.
Okay.
But we played on Jacob's PS5, right? Mm-hmm. Is that a PS5?
Yeah.
And it was like a digitalized version. It was Monopoly Plus. And when I tell you, I felt like I was going to the casino. Like, it felt like crack. Like, it was so freaking fun.
It was fun. Back to your point though that you said it does take forever. It does, because we still haven't finished it. We still need to have another Monopoly night. But I don't know if you played like this as a kid, but we, like, for any minor thing you had to pay money for, we would put the money into the free parking, like, little pot in the middle. And so when you land on free parking, you get the money. That game doesn't play like that. So I feel like that's making the game take longer, because if you land on free parking and you have like all the money, like, I think it makes the game kind of like wrap up a little faster.
Is that like a normal rule though, or is that just something I'll do? I
don't know if it's a normal rule, but I've played with like different people and they've played the same way, but that's how me and Jacob always play it.
Because I don't think I've ever played like that.
No. Mm-mm. It's fun. It gets kind of ruthless because then like people get really pissed off when, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's fun. I think it adds another element. We had this like I said, we're big Monopoly people. This is our thing. But we had this one game, and it was like the cheaters version. And so I don't remember, but it had like different cheating rules, like cards. And if you pulled off the cheat without the other person noticing, like, I don't know how to explain it, but they had even these little like handcuffs. And so it would be like, while the other person is like looking off, if you can get out of the handcuff, you get like certain prizes or whatever. I don't know. That was super fun too. But
I think I had that one too.
Did you?
Yeah, and I also, okay, so I've had like 3 or 4. I had the regular Monopoly, I had the Cheaters Monopoly, and then I had the Grogu Monopoly. So like the Star Wars.
Doesn't like Monopoly. Has 4 games.
I got them for Christmas.
Okay.
But I have no clue what happened to them. I wanted to keep the Grogu one because like I have like a whole like a little shrine of Grogu in my room. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what happened to it now that I think about it. It must have been in the boxes somewhere, and I hope my parents didn't throw it away.
We're gonna need an update on what happened to this board game.
Breaking news.
I haven't played that one. That'd be fun though. I had this one when I was a kid, and it had like the buildings, like it had like skyscraper buildings. Mm-hmm. That was super fun too.
I was more like a Sorry, Connect 4 type of person.
Okay.
Those are fun.
I honestly don't remember playing Sorry very much.
Sorry, me and my grandpa used to play. Me and my grandpa and Brennan, when we were younger, and grandma used to play Sorry all the time. Okay, that was a fun game because you get to knock. You knock the like if you land on the same little square, you knock it out. My grandpa would like yeet it across the floor.
Yes, I forgot about that. What was that one game? I literally have no clue what it's about, but it had like the clear half sphere in the center, and you would press it, and then it would make the dice like roll around.
That's Sorry.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to play this. Sounds fun.
You know what game I didn't play till I was older, and then I actually kind of liked was Clue.
I love Clue.
Yeah, I like Clue.
It gets a little boring if you play it too much, though, because it gets very repetitive, but I love that one.
Yeah, so Clue was one that like I hadn't played, and then I played when I was older. And Scrabble, too.
I like Scrabble. What is the name of it? We went to the Vans store or weekend before last, and since it was my birthday, they gave me a free gift, and it was this little checkerboard, like is that what it's called, backgammon, with the little pieces. Dang. I don't know how to play backgammon, but I was like, this is so cute. Like,
are you like a top member? How did you get that? I never get free stuff from Vans. You like signed up or something?
I don't know, but they gave me that free game, and then they gave me free like like patches. Like sticker patches. Yeah. I got spoiled at the Van store.
That's awesome. I need to just figure out if I can sign up for stuff like that. My birthday's in February.
Hey, turn up.
32. Ooh,
you can say 23.
23.
That one works out good. Your Miley Cyrus year.
Yeah, true. I'm gonna I don't know where I was going with that. Never mind.
We're going to turn up.
We're going to turn up.
Dry January will be over by then.
Yeah, true. My liver will be in pristine condition.
You're going to probably like black out from like taking such a long break. The tolerance.
Well, my birthday's not to the end of the month, so at that point I'll probably drink a little bit in the beginning.
She'll be back on her bullshit.
Yeah. But I've been wanting to like travel more. I know you're going on a trip.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that's fun. You're going to where again?
I'm going to Cancun.
I'm
so excited.
Is it hot over there right now?
I checked the weather app, and it said it was going to be like 85.
Oh yeah.
They said it was going to like a chance of rain, but I've never been, but from what people tell me, it won't rain the whole day. It'll just like be on and off or whatever.
So y'all going to get in the beach?
Yes.
Get in the water?
Toes in the sand. I'm so excited.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. I've never been to Mexico.
I haven't either. This is my first time even leaving the country. So.
Are y'all staying on like a resort?
Mm-hmm.
That's
all inclusive.
Dang, I'm jelly. Did you say you liked cruises or you don't?
I've never been on one. I don't think I could ever go on a cruise.
Okay, that's one.
Did you see that TikTok? I saw it like a week or so ago, but I don't know if they just went through bad water or what the deal was, but I don't know if the boat sank. I don't think it completely sank, but people like the weather, like it caught enough water on the boat or something that like people died.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, so I was already like no, but then I saw that and I was like, hell no.
I do have family members who went. Well, I guess we have family members that went on a boat a cruise, and they like they hit something and like got injured. Yeah.
Who is this?
I'll tell you later.
Okay, but she said our family, like I'm supposed to know this.
Well, I think it was a long while back, so
okay.
you probably didn't know, but like technically they are our family.
Okay.
But yeah, it was crazy. I remember hearing that, but I still want to go.
See, the only thing that they have that entices me is the casinos on them, and I'm like, okay, that sounds kind of fun. But I don't think I would enjoy myself like the way my anxiety is. I think I would just be afraid I was gonna die the entire time, and I would not have fun.
Now that I think about it, for my birthday, I think we should start planning now a casino trip.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say a cruise. I was gonna be
no,
not
a cruise. That's like not enough like
time.
Yeah, time.
Okay, no, casino trip. I'm down for that. Let's make that happen.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Which one?
Probably Choctaw.
You do like that one a lot.
I do like Choctaw. I just don't like WinStar. I just don't feel like I ever win as much as I do at Choctaw.
I love the River Spirit in Tulsa.
Tulsa?
Love that one. So
Hard Rock in Tulsa is pretty cool too.
I haven't been to that one.
They have this like whole country bar in there.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then they have like another section that's almost like a bar, but they have like concerts over there.
Okay, fun.
That's really cool too. And the good thing is you don't have to stay at like the actual Tulsa Hard Rock. You can like stay across the street, and they have shuttles that run all night that can just take you from hotel to the other bigger casino.
That's fun.
Yeah. So,
I've never been carded more than when I'm at the casino.
Me too.
And they're like, yes. Like really, I'm like, I am old. Like,
dude,
this is not a fake ID.
Brennan never gets carded, and I'm always the one they're like, I went to Louisiana with my parents, and I kid you not, they almost didn't let me in a casino because he thought my ID was fake.
What?
Yeah.
I feel like I got questioned less when I used a fake ID than when I used my real one, which is
crazy.
so strange.
Yeah, I was like, no, sir, I am actually 28 at the time.
I'm like, flattered. Like, thank you, but Jesus
right?
Christ.
I'm like, oh, so you think I'm young?
So you think I'm skinny?
Skinny?
Did you ever have a fake ID back in the day? No?
Okay. I had a lot of friends who sisters and brothers were in college, so we didn't really need one. And then by the time I went to clubs, I was 18, and we could get in with just regular IDs, and then we just drink before.
Okay.
No. So, no, I didn't ever need one, but you got one? How much was your fake ID?
Oh, God. I had a lot of fake IDs.
Holy moly.
What was that place around in Dallas called where you could go get a copycat or something like that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh my God. It was so bad. It looked terrible. But some places, I think
they knew
because I'm a girl, like they were just like, it's fine. But then I had one that I found. It looked nothing like me. She was way older than me too. Like 8 years older than me, but that one worked for a while. I remember my sophomore year of college, I had a friend and she somehow got the template for the paper fake IDs. And so I used that for a while. Well, I lost it one weekend. And so I was like, hey, will you just print me out another one? And she was like, yeah. Keep in mind, my college town was really small. So I should have known I was going to get caught. But I go to the same bar the next weekend and I show her that and she's like, oh, really? And she whips out of the drawer my one from last weekend and she's like, get out.
That's like, crazy.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. So yeah, I had a lot.
And then I bet did you try going back there again?
Yeah, I went back the same night.
Oh my gosh.
But with my real ID and she's like, I was like, yeah, sorry, Regina. My bad.
I used to get into, this is like this club's not around anymore. But in Austin, it was called Graham Central Station, I think. It like was first in San Antonio. Okay. But it was like 5 clubs in one. They had like a karaoke bar, like a Mexican, like a country, and then like a hip hop.
Sounds fun.
That may have been less than 5. And I used to go in there because they'd give you your ID, but you'd all get bracelets. Mm-hmm. So it didn't really matter. Only difference was they put the X's on your hands. Mm-hmm. So as soon as I got in there, straight to the restroom, wash those X's off. Drinking all night, baby. Woo!
See, the tip was you got to put the chapstick on your hands before you go in, and so when they draw the X's on, they wash right off.
Not saying that you should do that, but
No.
that's how she did that.
You should not do any of the things that I just said I did, but, just going down memory lane a little bit.
Yeah, that was the only thing I did. I was such a, like, scaredy cat when I was younger.
I feel like I'm getting more of, like, a scaredy cat the older I get, but I was fearless when I was young. Now I have all the fear.
Yeah.
Very anxiety-ridden person.
Me too, dude. Like, on Halloween, because that was my last night that I was, like, gonna drink, because I said November 1st. And I was gonna go out with my cousins, but I was like, oh no, it's gonna be too packed. The bars are gonna be crazy. Not only that, freaking Uber is ridiculous on Halloween.
Oh, I bet. I can't imagine.
From my grandma's house to the bar, it was going to be $44. It's normally $13.
What
bar? And this
did
was
you
at
go to?
9, Miguel's.
That is not that far.
I know. And this was at 9 o'clock. So I was like, imagine I go pay $40 to Uber now. Can you imagine how much more it's going to be at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning?
Oh my God, no.
Like, it would probably be like, I think one time on Halloween we paid $90 to Uber 10 minutes.
I'm walking.
Yeah.
No, absolutely
but
not.
like, how shitty of a system is it to, like, because it wasn't even that busy. There's barely anybody out. How shitty of a system is it? They claim it's because there's increased, like, traffic or whatever that they raise the prices.
Not at 3 a.m.
They couldn't have said that day because there was, like, not a lot of people out. And you figure you're just making the roads more dangerous because now people are not going to pay $90 to fucking Uber. They're going to fucking drive or do something stupid that they shouldn't have done when Uber's just being greedy and trying to put more money in their pockets.
No, literally. I want to know when the rides are that expensive, like, does the driver get a bigger cut of that or no?
So when I used to drive Uber, yeah, you'd get a bigger cut of it. So
Okay.
like I think one night driving Uber just on like a holiday weekend like that, I made like $300 or $400 in one night.
Should we start Ubering?
Yeah. Let's do a podcast episode while we Uber.
We can be like
Could you
the
imagine?
James Corden videos. They start singing.
Just random people getting in the car for Uber and they'd be like, why are there 2 people driving, first of all?
I'd be too scared, I
Yeah.
think, to be an Uber driver.
Oh, let me tell you my Uber scary story that happened to me. So this is probably like my first or second Uber ride ever.
Okay.
Okay. And, drive. I'm the driver in this scenario. And, so I'm living in San Marcos at this time and we have what's called the square. So it's like just the row of bars. Mm-hmm. I go and I show up and there's this dude there with his friend. He's like, hey, this is my buddy. I'm sorry. Like, he's extremely drunk. And you're not really supposed to take them home if they're like super, super drunk because you can get like, if they do something or like you can get, it's a liability or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, I'll give you an extra $20 if you could just Uber him. I was like, it was like 10 minutes up the road. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. So this guy's in the back of the car and I'm just like driving and like he starts mumbling. He starts saying like, the devil's coming for us all. We should all just kill ourselves. I'm going to kill everybody. Like literally saying the most insane shit I've ever heard in my whole life.
Bruh.
And I'm like, my hands are sweating. I'm like gripping the wheel. I'm like, do I have any weapons in my car? Like what the hell? So thankfully I'm like so close to where I'm dropping him off. Get there. He's like, I don't live here. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Please just get out of my car. And I was like, well, this is where your friend said you lived. So you're going to need to get out. And he's like, no, I'm not getting out of the car. And he just refused to get out of my car. And I was like, okay, well, I'm taking you back to where I picked you up from. So I drive back and I get to the square and I know there's always a part where there's cops and EMS people. Uh-huh. So I pull into like this alley by EMS and I'm like, okay, get out now. He refused to get out still. I go up to the EMS person. I'm like, hey, can you help me? This guy, I'm driving Uber. And like, he will not get out of my car. He starts punching the back of my seat, starts trying to punch the EMS people. And they finally get him out of my car. Or no, right before they get him out of my car, they come up to me and they're like, are you sure you can't just drive him home? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? No, I'm not taking him home. Get him out of my car. Like,
You're supposed to like help people.
Public servant my ass. Okay.
Literally.
Like, what? Yeah, I was like baffled, and I literally went home after that. I was like, I cannot drive anybody else. That was scaring the fuck out of me.
Did you get your money for the ride at least?
Yeah, I got my money for the ride, and I reported him, so
Okay, good.
he can't.
But the friend got him the ride.
Yeah, so his friend was reported, not him. So
that does suck for the friend, but also if you know your friend is being creepy like that.
Oh, but no, I called him, and he's like, yeah, I don't really know him. I just met him at the bar.
So he was just trying to be a good Samaritan, get this guy a ride home.
Yeah. And this guy apparently was from Houston.
I wouldn't have got involved. I wouldn't have paid for nobody's freaking Uber. That's your business, not mine.
Mm-hmm. And then, so like another time, I did a lot of Uber in San Marcos because when I was going to school there, that's what like I did for work when I quit my other job, just so that way I could focus on school. And I did this one drive where there's these two cowboy kids, and there was a rodeo in town. They're what are they called? Where they're on the road, they ride the bull riders. Yeah.
I'm like, ride
what is it called where they ride the bull? The bull rider. Yeah, they were bull riders. And I noticed the ride was like an hour away, and I'm like, fuck, do I really want to do this at this point? It's like 2:00 in the morning.
An hour away.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to. They get in my car because they don't. Uber does not show you where you're going until you've already accepted it. Yeah, and picked them up.
No.
And I was like, fuck. So I was like, I don't know if I want to do this, but then they seemed like really cool people. They're like, oh, we'll give you some extra money if you just take us. And I was like, okay. And I was already getting a good amount of change for driving them an hour. Mm-hmm. So we get to where, and they're apparently they're telling me on their way, they're going to meet this girl.
Both of them?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure she probably had a friend or something. I don't know. But so they give me the address. We drive over there. It takes me and us down this like country back road.
Okay.
No house to be seen. There's nowhere, just woods and dirt. And it's a spot where, and at this point I've learned from my first Uber rides, I have like a pocket knife with me. And I'm like, okay, if they're trying to do something. But they're really nice people.
Okay.
And maybe I'm just too trusting. But so we get there and I'm like, are you sure this is where you guys want to be dropped off? Like, I was more worried for them at that point because I'm like, they don't know this person. They're from out of town. I'm like, what if they like freaking die or something? Yeah. And I'm thinking true crime. I'm the last person that's going to drop them off.
You're like, I don't want that on my conscience.
Right? And I'm like, okay, are you guys sure you're going to be fine? And they're like, yeah. They get off and they start walking through the woods and I don't know what happened to them. I mean, I'm assuming, I didn't hear anything about people missing, so I'm assuming that they made it to where they're going, but that was just another crazy ride for me. I was like, dang.
I'm sure if it was like roles reversed and you were dropping two girls off in the middle of the woods, it would have been like more so. Like,
yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild.
I've never drove Uber. I did DoorDash for a little bit.
Yeah.
But nothing too crazy with the DoorDashes. I think the only time I had like an issue with a person, so I dropped their order off. Keep in mind, they tipped me like 50 cents $1, but I only did it because it was like a super short drive and I was like, might as well boost my rating. So I drop off their food at, it was like a work building. And so I dropped it off on this side, walked it inside, finished out my ride, and I drove off. Well, then I get a call from that person and they're like, you didn't drop it off at the right place. And I was like, yeah, you said this building, I dropped it off on this side. And they're like, no, you were supposed to drive to the other side of the building to deliver it to me. And I was like, okay, well, it's at the building. It's just on the other side. And she said, you're going to need to come back and go get it and bring it to me and walk it around the building. And I said, what, do your legs not work? And I got a really bad rating. So I was 5 stars. And then that dropped my rating down to like a 3.5 for a hot minute. But if you're out there, I hope your McDonald's was worth it because you're being a little asshole.
Dude, I hated DoorDash and Uber Eats because they paid the least.
Yeah.
And I can't blame people for this because I'm the same way. Like, you don't want to tip. You're already paying so much fucking money to order your food. Like, when it comes to tipping, you don't want to pay that much. And I get that because I'm the same way on the other side. Yeah. I do tip, like, okay, but I don't tip, like, $1 million, you know? Mm-hmm. But, like, Instacart, I used to do Instacart. Now, that was worth it for a while because I used to could make, like, $1,000 a week on Instacart. Like,
I signed up for it and I didn't start. I didn't know I could be making bank like that.
Well, it used to be like that. Now it kind of sucked because for a while that's what I was doing. But yeah, I stopped and I got like a actual 9-to-5 job after that because also that's when I graduated college. But I just needed to get more steady because it just went downhill.
Sure.
So.
Well, I think with things like that, like the market gets oversaturated and
Yeah.
there's so many people you're fighting over things where it's hard to make any good money. Because that's how it even felt with DoorDash. It was like you had to, like, it was a game. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, let me just drive this from here to here. No, you have to, like, drive to the hot spot in order for you to, like, get an order. And then if it's less than a certain amount, it's not even worth your time. Like, you do have to put a lot of work into these side gigs.
Yeah.
It turns into, like, a real job almost.
It really does. And like you also have to work, like I know we were talking about last time, like you being like self-employed essentially. You're self-employed and you have to make sure you're working enough to make your like goal and set goals for yourself that day. And if you don't make it, then you have to work longer the next day, and then it's almost worse than having an actual 9 to 5 because at least you're guaranteed money with the 9 to 5.
Yeah, like there's definitely pros and cons to everything, but at least with a 9 to 5, like you know you're gonna get X amount on this specific day. So like that part is nice, but I don't know if I could go back to corporate America. I don't know if I could deal with people telling me what to do all the time.
Well, I feel like you're okay. So when I said that a while ago, I was meaning more like just rideshare stuff, not like not like your stuff that you do, but like when it comes to rideshare stuff, I feel like it's not worth it. Yeah. But I would like to eventually, if I get to that point, be self-employed. That would be ideal end goal.
Yeah. It's nice to be self-employed, but you definitely have to have a lot of discipline. This bag ain't going to get itself. You got to wake up and you have to really, stick to a schedule. I feel like that really helps me out a lot.
I feel like that's what we kind of have to do with the podcast too, though. Like we're trying to get on a schedule and trying to be more like efficient with our time and stuff, especially because you're so busy. And I claim I'm busy. I'm really not that busy.
I feel like you're always doing something though. You always have a project.
I do for sure. But yeah,
but I think schedules and goals are good for anything in your life. I feel like routine really, even if you don't like to have a routine, I think routine is good for everybody, in my opinion.
I always kind of, I don't know if envy is the right word, but like aspired maybe is a better word, to be the person like I see. And I'm sure this is like not true 100% of the time, but that gets up early, goes for a run, like has this like breakfast, like reads or does something before
like the
work.
75 hard challenge.
Yes, but like your whole life.
Yeah.
So like this week I'm trying to like get more on a schedule of like getting up at a certain time. I set my alarm for 7 this morning and I was going to go running. I did not get up till 8.
Hey, that's better than getting up at 9.
True. Which I don't get up at 9. I get up at 8 every morning to go to work.
Why the
Because people who just in case anybody I work with listens to my podcast, I definitely get up at 8.
Very responsible, very mindful,
very
demure.
Elite employee.
You are now an elite employee. I love that meme. Can we please bring it back?
Yes,
it's so good. I need to know where
she
that
is.
Is it she?
It's a girl, right? The lady? The older lady?
I don't know. I thought it might be a man. I don't know. They. Where are they? I need an update. I need to know how you're doing.
That's funny.
So one other thing I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you've seen this on TikTok, but my feed has been full of it, is this family and they go by the, Resilient Jenkins?
Yeah.
Yes. For those who haven't seen it, it's this family on TikTok and I believe they have 4 kids, 1 on the way. Does that sound right?
Yeah, 4. Yeah, because
it's 6 about to be 7. Yeah, so the mom is pregnant currently with her 5th child, and they live in a 1-bedroom apartment with all of their kids, which, you know what, I'm not judging on, having hard times or, like falling victim to your circumstances. Yeah. That's not what I'm getting at. If you do a deep dive on this family, like I said, the mom is pregnant again, and they don't, in my mind, what I would think, you would put the kids all in one room and you and the husband can sleep in the living room. No, the husband, or I don't even know if they're married, but the dad and the mom, they have their own room, king size bed, TV, PS5, all the things. And all of their kids sleep on the floor in the kitchen and the living room.
Yeah.
What?
Which is crazy.
So one thing I wanted to tell you, I didn't think you knew this part of the story. So the mom claims that the dad works all the time and like they just can't like do any better. I don't know all the dynamics, but from what I've been seeing from other people, it's deep dives. He has a first baby mama. She is not baby mama number one.
Oh my gosh.
So he already has a child from another woman, and he doesn't work because he doesn't want child support and back paid child support to be taken out of his checks. So he simply does not work.
That is crazy.
And that is why they are in the situation that they're in. And she keeps posting stuff about she wants to have more kids, and baby daddy said if her TikToks take off and she starts making more money that they can have more kids. And that is just insane to me. What are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts are like you said earlier, like no judgment to anybody in that situation, but when you're already in that situation and you are actively trying to have more kids despite like lying on the internet about like your baby daddy saying something, that is fucking ridiculous.
And why would you want to put more people through that?
Yeah.
Like she posted this one and it was like, I just want to do better for my kids and I want to be able to give them a yard and all this stuff. Well, the more kids you have, you're taking more and more away from the current ones you do have. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with, you know, having a big family, having a bunch of kids, but I think if you don't have a means to provide for your children, that's selfish.
Yeah.
And you just want them for selfish reasons.
And then where she said, I saw that video earlier where she was like, oh, I just want my kids to know that no matter the circumstances you grow up in or blah, 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 that anything is possible. And it's like, it's not about what you have. Yeah. But like, also if you have the opportunity and the means to give your kids something better or to make their situation worse, why would you want to make their situation worse?
Right.
Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
I just feel like you want to have more babies because, you know, babies are cute. And another thing, I would not want to be pregnant for that long. Like, I think all these kids are pretty close in age. So that means she's been pregnant for years.
Yeah. And then she says she wants more kids. Like, that's too many, man. And like, I don't know. It's just irresponsible. And I saw too that they said she'd been trying to be like internet famous for like the past 2 years or something. And she's just now getting traction.
Okay.
So like more people watching her stuff is not going to like help the situation. Like, I mean, as humans, we're all just going to watch it anyways. It doesn't like, that's just how we are.
Right.
But like, this is the point where we get in social media where like, we just feed into people's delusions and things that like, we're not helping the situation. Like Joshua Block, you know who that is?
I don't know if I do.
So it's this guy, and I'll just make this brief and we'll get back to the Jenkins family. But anyways, I think maybe he has some mental issues going on. I'm not really completely sure. But he just makes TikToks of him getting shit-faced drunk every day, pretty much, and making really bad decisions. And he needs to go to rehab and, like, not drink because he's, like, it's getting pretty bad. And the internet's just feeding into his antics, and it's not making his situation any better. But, like, that's just where we are as a society, unfortunately. But I just kind of wanted to, I guess, go into my point of that.
I feel like that could be a whole discussion within itself because
Yeah.
I don't know. I think people aren't going to get better unless they want to get better.
Yeah,
but
true.
that also plays into it. Like if people are like, oh yeah, this is funny and you're monetizing off of it, like why would you stop?
That's extremely true too. Like I mean, it is at the end of the day that person's decision.
Yeah.
So
But that could be a whole nother
yeah, we don't got to get into all
story
that.
within itself.
Yeah. That's...
One more thing about this family though that I found interesting was I guess they made like an Amazon wish list and she shared it with TikTok for people to go buy all the things. And I think people did buy pretty much everything on their list, you know, which whatever, if these people out of the kindness of their hearts wanted to help, like that's great. One thing I did find funny was the one thing on the list that didn't get bought. Keep in mind, there was things like bunk beds on the list and those got bought. Was a wave brush. And it looked like it was for the husband.
No way.
And so I think everyone's so mad that the husband is not helping the situation that they're like, no, we're not buying this little $5 brush for you because you can fuck off.
That is so freaking crazy.
Crazy.
I wonder, like, how, if he doesn't work, is it just like government assistance maybe that they're living off of, or like how?
I don't know. That's where things seem a little confusing to me, because I heard people say he's not actually working because of the child support thing that I brought up. But she's always posting on there that he's working all the time and he's never home with the kids because he's always out working, which makes me think, what are you out doing that you're not getting like a typical paycheck that the government couldn't garnish your wages?
Maybe he's
sus.
like, yeah, I was about to say maybe he's doing something under the table.
He's out in these streets.
Streets.
He's doing something.
Something.
I mean, I do, wish the best for this family, though. I hope better things do come to them. But, girl.
Yeah, what are you doing, man?
It's giving deadbeat.
It's giving, I want to prosper off my children's misfortune.
And I really wish the best for their kids. That's really sad, and they don't deserve that. And I think, things happen, hot take, but I don't think you should have kids for selfish reasons. I think you should think about why you really want them. And like I said, things happen, but you should try to wait to have them until you can take care of them.
And who knows, maybe she's trying to be like, what is it, the show where they have like 12 kids or whatever, you know what I mean? Maybe she's trying to get her own TV show or something. I don't know.
And I don't know anything about like her parenting. She could be an amazing mom. I don't know. I'm just talking about the financial situation that they're in. This isn't like a dig at the mom, really. I just think crazy story.
It's just wild. And I had because like when you talked about it, I had barely like I'd seen that video and people were like talking about it on my For You page, but I hadn't actually dug deep into anything. So that's wild to know that, like, man. And then what happens if they don't work out and the baby daddy goes off, and how's she gonna, there's no child support.
He ain't gonna, if he's not paying child support for the first one, he's not gonna pay it for these other 5. Like,
which is crazy.
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know what the situation or what the ideal situation would be for that, but don't have kids till you're ready.
Right. Or a better situation, at least. Like,
yes.
Get out that apartment and get a 2-bedroom even. I mean, it's not the best, but it's better than 1.
Well, and I think the argument could also be made that if he's not going to get up and work because of the child support thing, if that is accurate, maybe quit having kids so you can go out and get a job, which I understand childcare is so expensive that might not even be realistic. I completely understand that, but I just feel like there might be more that could be done in this situation to at least get y'all a 2-bedroom. If nothing else, if they had to stay in the 1-bedroom, let your kids have the damn room.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, because you could think like intruders or bad people could just burst into the home and you're not even there to like keep them safe.
Yep. And I saw this other video too she posted of her like telling her, it was like text, it was the kid, he was sitting down on the side of the road or sidewalk, and she was like, I just want to be able to give him everything and like him to be able to explore his talents or something like that. And it's like, you're not doing anything to get to what you are saying you want to do except exploiting your children on social media. And that is not a job.
No.
Which is just...
That is sad too. Like, I didn't think too much about that, but these kids are going to be, like going to school soon. And you have to think about that now. The stuff you put on social media is like, if you're putting your kids' faces and stuff, like they can get backlash from the stuff you're putting out there.
And kids are mean. Like, you don't think they're going to make fun of a kid who's sharing a 1-bedroom with their family? Like,
it's one thing to get made fun of for being poor, but if people found out that just adds like another layer of like, they could be bullied for, and that's not fair.
Yeah. That's really sad.
That quote people say, like, I didn't ask to be born. But I still wish the best for the family, and I hope things do get better for them.
For sure. Hopefully they find their way and get in a better situation.
Absolutely. But who even asked?
Who even asked? Not us.
Not us. Well, thank you guys for tuning in for another episode. We hope you liked this. And if y'all have any topic ideas, anything y'all want us to cover, always send those our way. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe, give us 5 stars, all the things.
We need your support, and thank you for supporting us thus far, and we love you guys, so thanks for watching.
Catch you fuckers next week. Peace.